Powhatan Indians. Now, this is something, ever since we started this, the Powhatan Indians, thank you guys.
Thank you for having us.
And your name is?
I'm Tom Paquette.
Tom Paquette, number 41?
I was number 6.
Number 6. And you, sir?
Jay Woodson.
Jay Woodson.
I was quarterback.
Oh, awesome. This is really great. This is something we've talked about doing, that we can have a show with not just the Madison point of view of games and seasons, but also from the opponent side. And this is, thank you guys for coming up.
Sure.
You guys came up from how far?
I live in Charlottesville. He lives in Richmond.
Okay.
I'm still in Powhatan.
Okay, cool. So Madison's history of Powhatan, we want to go over here. I went back and did some digging.
Uh-oh.
Madison first played Powhatan in 1963. If I tell my age, that was 2 years before I was born. So Madison won that game, but the series was 7-6 in favor of Madison. Madison played them from 63 to 69 in the regular season. Then 74 came along, it was in the playoffs. First time Madison played in 74, we lost at Charlottesville, at Alumni High School, 34-18. In 78, we won at home 13-0. In 79, we lost 22-40 at Powhatan. In 91, came back and won 24-21 at Madison.
Remember that game? I was the kid on the sideline.
Yeah. And then 96, you guys beat us 51-22 at Madison. And I believe we were undefeated that year, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe we lost to Strasburg or something. But anyway, that was a really big season. And then 98, we won 21-15. That was the year we won the state, Oklahoma State runner-up against Powell Valley. So 97, we're going to talk about tonight, 14-11. Now, before we get started here, I want to talk about, you guys want to talk about the Powhatan season that year, up to the Madison game?
Sure, we can. Yeah, we were coming off of a state championship in '96. So yeah, we beat Giles in the state finals in Richmond, and I think we had I think it was like a 5 or 6 game winning streak, I think, to finish the season. So we got off to a pretty good start in '97. Our quarterback, which is his older brother, left, was at James Madison, and then I came in as a sophomore. So we've got this 6'1",
35.
Okay, we'll go to 6'1", 235, running a 4.5 40. We have a legit 4.5 40.
I bet you still do that good.
Oh yeah. When I'm sleeping in my dreams.
Yeah. So we had a pretty good game plan for the year set out. So we had some other good key players, but Tom was the show, and my father was the head coach. So we had plenty of talks about what we were going to do for the year, and it was pretty obvious what our game plan was going to be. So we started off the year really well, and we were undefeated.
You're undefeated. Even coming into this game.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Madison, I think the game before that, we had beat Wittenberg, which was always a big rival.
But we played you guys the year before in the states as well, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what district are you? Were you guys in the James River then?
James River.
So it was Wittenberg, you guys?
Lunenburg, Amelia County, Goochland County, Cumberland County, Buckingham, Randolph, Henry,
Prince Edward?
Louisiana was in there for a little bit, and then Prince Edward.
Yeah. So you guys, once you left the James River, you went to Jefferson?
We went to, I think we went, before we went to the Jefferson district, we were in, what was the name of that district? Well, that was in 99 we switched. So we were in James River through 98 and 99 season.
And you're now a 3A school, 4A?
We're 4A.
4A.
Yep.
Powhatan Indians. So, we'll introduce these two guys. Rod, Dave, you called the game.
We were there. It was wet.
It was wet.
It was really wet. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about leading up to the game. I know these guys probably want the answer to that question too, but there's always been a lot of talk as to how that game get played that day. And a lot of people think it should have been postponed or whatever. Yeah, I know. So you guys think it's sour grapes?
I think it worked out great.
Yeah, it worked out good for you guys.
It's called home field advantage.
Your father was the coach, right? Do you know anything about, what leading up or anything?
Yeah, I mean,
What
he-
went into
Sure.
what goes into the decision making?
I think he takes pride in this football field and
Yes.
the condition of the field. And now, granted, you're in November, so the Bermuda grass obviously is not quite the same. It's dormant, so it doesn't, hold moisture the way that it would in the summer. But he thought that the field was fine and would withstand it. I would say that at the beginning of the game, there wasn't any rain. It was a little wet, but then it came on
got
around
really bad.
pretty bad
Yeah.
towards the
After
second half.
halftime, it was
It was pretty nasty.
Yeah.
So I know that didn't play into
Well, I think,
Madison's favor there because they threw the ball quite a bit.
the thought was at the time Madison was built, you guys were built for that type of game, and Madison was built for dry weather, and
I would
so.
agree with that. Yeah.
And so it was always a feeling, and I'm not saying it, I'm just saying the feeling was, maybe if it was,
He's not saying it.
good,
He's saying
good,
I'm
you
not
know,
saying it, but I'm saying it.
different conditions, maybe would have been a different outcome.
Could have, maybe. You're right.
Maybe I would have been a little bit faster.
We were only at 4-7 that night in the sun.
I think, no, it's a good point. I think, especially in the playoffs, when you start postponing games, and it's a disadvantage
Yeah.
for the next teams down the line, or the team that wins, do they not get the same prep? So I think everybody wanted to play the game if they could, try to make it happen. I don't think there was any malintent there where we were trying to hold it off or try to play it in bad weather.
And I know you probably only choice you had was the next day, and it could have been worse then too, so
True.
who knows? Up into the Madison season that year, we started off beating Fluvanna, lost to Culpeper, 35-12, beat Luray, then we beat Brentsville, and then Brentsville game was September 20th, on 44-6. That was the night they dedicated the field to Coach Eddie. Then we went on to beat Strasburg, lost to Orange, lost to William Road, 56-8.
That's not true. That's wrong.
Huh?
That's wrong. It was the other way around.
It says L right
Yeah,
there.
that site's wrong.
Okay, well,
Where'd you go to school?
All these guys will tell you that's wrong.
Did you guys play, did Madison play Lunenburg that year?
That's the team they beat to get to
Okay,
you guys.
so yeah, Lunenburg had big Anthony Davis.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because I lined up, I didn't realize he had gone to Virginia Tech. And then I lined up against him at Virginia Tech. And he's like, "Hey, Paquette." Hey, Anthony, how you doing? And so it was just, I didn't even know, like, even leading up and like reading your packet about who's blocking. I didn't put two and two together that was him. And then we had this nice little moment. And then he blocked down and I went in and I hit a pulling guard from Virginia Tech. And it was a different deal there. He was a big boy. That was Michael Vick's first game when James Madison played Virginia Tech. He went crazy on us.
I was flipping the end zone.
Right, yeah.
so then we ended up beating Riverheads, then Wilson, Gap, Buffalo Gap, in the Lunenburg games. I guess the first round of the playoffs, we won 17-14. Guys, anything you guys remember any of these games?
Like the Green County game in the senior years, the one we beat them, they were ranked like top 5 in the state.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't play well that game.
Somebody did not put this on their right.
We definitely never got beat by Weaver Road.
The Dragons.
We didn't lose. We
didn't
didn't
lose
lose Weaver
Green
Road.
Harbor.
We definitely didn't lose.
I'm not. I'm thinking we didn't even lose in a single sport.
Those guys are riled up now.
We didn't beat us in basketball.
That's it.
I know how to trigger you guys.
I didn't play
for
basketball.
sure.
I was like, Luke Besson here, David Stone.
Right.
Who did? This one guy?
So, Anthony Davis fell on him. We still talking about that to this day.
Yeah, Anthony Davis went on to bed. I mean, he was on the NFL. He was like an all-pro.
He's proud. I don't know if he went quite that far. He went to Tech. I mean, he was a good 6'5", 350.
Yeah, he lined up against me in that.
Yeah, he was a big boy.
He knew that about that.
When he wins the match, he's thinking.
He was crying when the game was over. But I mean, he was still involved. So had to do with me.
Little said, you know.
Oh my God.
Sorry, bro.
Hey, it happened all.
Yeah, so microphone been off the whole time. Anyway, so yeah, that was a big deal. I mean, I know Powhatan broke Madison's hearts a lot of times in the playoffs. I mean,
They got us not only in football, they got us in basketball. So they beat us our junior year, you beat us in this playoffs in football. We went and played in basketball at U-Hall, got beat by Powhatan at U-Hall. Turned around the next year, played in football again, and got beat again our senior year. So we got a lot of animosity.
Yeah, it was a crazy about looking back all those years and about the weather and all this stuff and game conditions. And everybody's still here talking about it. People don't never forget. You remember the wins, but you daggone sure don't forget the losses either.
We were just talking about that too. What we remember the game, but obviously it's going to sting more on the other side. You remember every single little detail, whereas we had a couple more games that to kind of put some more memories in the memory bank. But we have the same feeling. I know we both remember the game that we lost in the state championship, probably more so than Julius Jones and those guys at Powell Valley.
Oh, so that's y'all played the state championship?
Right.
Yeah, we know all about that.
Yeah.
Next year we face them too.
Yeah.
Did you guys beat him?
Yeah.
Was Julius Jones still playing?
Yeah.
The next year.
He ran for 320 yards.
Touchdowns.
Yeah, 27-14. I mean, once he got past the line of scrimmage around the end, he was gone.
I think he set like a state record for most yards in the season in a game or something in the state championship.
We had two of them called back up.
Yeah. They ran toss right, toss left. And it was,
What do you guys remember about Julius Jones?
Yeah, he was just fast as lightning. I remember running against him in track too, because I made it to the States in the 100 and 200. And
6'1", 200.
And he beat me by a good 150 feet.
You had
No, they didn't stand a chance.
100 meters?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that much, but it was.
You had to be the biggest guy in track ever in 100 meters. Man, that's
It
huge.
didn't look right. The other end trying to tackle a guy coming at you that can run like that.
Yeah, that's not cool. Ace, tell me what you said at the thing table. Yeah, Tom is the toughest.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it. Tom Paquette was probably the toughest football player I ever played against. In high school, college, anywhere. He was a tough ball player.
Well, I appreciate
Like you
it.
said,
I
you got
appreciate that.
4 or 5 coming at you, 240 pounds, 235 pounds.
Yeah, he was impressive.
I mean, those guys are always Powhatan's always really physical. You know, and historically nice, we never play well in the rain.
I do remember Tom giving the old Heisman in the end zone when
I
he
bet I did. I
I
get so embarrassed watching the film. Luckily, our film is so grainy, you can barely see it. But I'm doing stuff after the play that I coach now. I'm the defensive coordinator at St. Anne's Belfield. And I see these kids coming in doing the same stupid stuff that I was doing. And I try to get mad at them. I'd be like, I'd be doing the same thing. I was a hothead.
Julius Jones did it to us too.
But he cleared that goal line, and the first step he took in, he would.
And if they would stand up on one leg in the mud, that's even more impressive.
If he wasn't flipping over the end zone, he did that in the regional game against you guys in '96.
Rod, you got some stats here. How about some stats on
Yeah, let's go.
Tom?
Can I just say real quick that this is really impressive, football community, bringing back Friday Night Lights.
Yes.
And I coach at St. Anne's Belfield, and we're trying to bring back that program there. And just to feel the community, to see these friends at this table, to bring, me and Jay haven't hung out and talked about this stuff in years, but just through football and the friendships that we have through football and the community that's built around football is something that's really special, beautiful. And I'm really glad you guys are leaning into it with a thing like this. It really is a commendable deal. So thank
We've
you
been
guys.
doing this all year. We've had every week we have current players and coaches come on. We've also done other sports too. And then we always end with guys from the past, and everybody sees them enjoying it. We've got guys coming in from the early 70s, 80s and 90s, all that, and that's back in the Madison's glory years of football. And We had a lot of characters in Madison.
Yeah.
Good character, but also a lot of funny guys. Still a lot of good stories. Go ahead, Rod.
Was it normal for you to carry 31 times in a game? I'm going to guess because of the weather
so.
that leaned on you pretty hard.
Yeah.
Was that a 30 carries? Was not out of the
I
ordinary
don't
for
think
you?
so. I think I was giving the ball quite a bit,
Yeah.
but yeah.
31 carries, 189 yards, 2 touchdowns.
All
So,
right.
so Ace, he was coming at you guys all night long.
Well,
All night
I
long.
did have talking to Jay, we dug up some of these highlight films, and to see our offensive line that I was running behind. Yeah, I'm a big dude, but I was running behind Skip Carlton, who went to play at VMI, and he was every bit of 6'4", 260. Then Carl Murch, he didn't have the height, but he was he was a big load. And then we had Marcus Johnson, who ended up playing with me at JMU. And so we had a small college offensive line that I was running by.
I swear one of the guys worked at talked about that, but I remember seeing one of the guys at a local establishment that he worked at, and I walked by him, and it was, I can't remember which one it was. He was he played a little bit of that kind of fullback position.
It was probably Rod Robinson,
And
who we called Boo.
Yes.
Rest
yes.
in peace.
Yes, but
Bless
oh
you,
no,
buddy.
it's unfortunate. But I remember seeing him at a local establishment and saying, "I remember you from Powhatan." And we had a good time. We talked, but it was one of those where you were so big at your position. There's no way I could not remember you. He was huge. I remember that dude being big. He was that big fullback.
So Donald, I see the final score was 14-11. Did you miss a field goal somewhere along the line?
Yes, I think I did.
It was a long one though.
Do we know how far it was?
42 yards. It was
In the
down
rain.
the middle,
In the
but it was
mud.
about 5 yards short.
We could have saved a couple feet.
Partially blocked.
It hit the,
something like that, right?
it hit the crossbar.
Much better.
Anything else you got on there? What stands
Well, one
out?
thing that stands out to me, Rod, look at the passing attempts. You see that Madison was built to throw.
Jay, they didn't need you much
Nope.
that night.
Nope.
You were the
You threw
handoff.
for
You were the
all,
handoff guy. You completed 2 passes.
26 yards.
I was okay with that.
No picks. No picks. No sacks. No picks. No sacks.
We ran a lot of off tackle. We ran a lot of counters, and we ran a couple of tosses, I think. But Tom was the primary back, and like you said, we had some great linemen, and it's tough to bring Tom down in wet circumstances like that. So we really didn't need to push it, and we knew we had Madison up against the wall, knowing how they like to throw the ball. Yeah.
Well, Nick Wingate, he was 13 out of 26, even in the rain. That's pretty good performance.
He was number 7.
Yeah.
Where is he these days?
Hey, last time I heard, he's got a farm in Georgia or something like that.
Kentucky.
Kentucky. But
He went to the military.
yeah, went to the military.
Who is Madison's greatest football player?
Depends on the decade.
No,
to be
you really
honest
opened up a
with
can of
you.
worms.
What about from our
Or
day?
Raymond Kirkley.
Recently, Raymond Kirk, yeah.
He was
He
in
was
that
a
game.
sophomore. He was
Okay.
a sophomore that year.
And where did he end up going? Did he end up going
He
to
went to
playing
Pitt.
college? He went to
Pitt.
Pitt?
He played at Pitt.
Then he went to the Redskins.
No kidding.
Yeah. He was on the practice squad, but he had broke his arm in high school, and it never healed correctly. And it's the last physical he had with the Redskins, he didn't pass.
Well, that's cool that you had somebody go that far.
Yeah, he literally played with a cast his entire 3 years of high school. Last year. We went to Pittsburgh to see him his freshman year, and literally hadn't seen him catch a football for real with his hands because he always had a broken arm. So he comes rolling out of the backfield, they toss it. I'm like, oh, he does catch the ball with his hands. It was a funny pick. It was pretty funny. He had a good career at Pittsburgh.
He was a great player, yeah.
Great guy.
What did Casey have?
Casey, you caught 5 passes, 78 yards, and a touchdown at the end. Jared, you caught 4 passes for 55 yards.
There you go, fellas.
Yeah,
John.
Raymond, 32 yards on 11 carries.
I'm pretty sure it was 4th
But
down.
let's talk about the end of the game. That's kind of like the last minute was sort of your Madison kind of highlight reel from that game. There was a turnover, or it was a short punt. About a minute to go, it was 14-3. Casey, take it from there.
So
Did you burn one of these guys on your 31-yard touchdown?
just driving rain, and yeah, so it was a long touchdown. I remember that. I remember that it was just on a fade, and yeah, just scored. Just seconds left to go.
19 seconds. Then
left
you
to
caught
go.
the 2-point conversion pass.
Conversion as well, and then we got the onside kick. I think Jason Klein recovered the onside kick. We moved the ball at least one play and got into field goal position, but we didn't really have the ability to kick the field goal because it was driving rain. So we went for it on 3rd and I think 8 maybe.
Yeah, it was 3rd down.
And we ended up throwing an interception on 3rd down. And ball game.
What was his name? Adams?
Mel Adams had an
And a
interception.
diving intercept. Well, it was the horn had already sounded,
Yeah.
but he picked it off, and that was that.
That was a good buddy of ours.
Shout out Mel Adams. He went on to play baseball at UNC.
Yeah,
Heck of an athlete.
Heck of an athlete.
Yo, that's some athlete.
Man,
He was a good athlete.
he was part of that county
Yeah, he was.
all the time.
Him and Lee Goo.
Lee Gooey, that's
Lee
right.
Goo. He's still around Powhatan, right?
He is, yeah. Yeah, #1.
Those are 2 guys I remember as well.
But I'll say about that goal fade. Whenever we got inside the 30 and the play came to the huddle and it was goal fade, I knew it was a touchdown. It was automatic. Automatic.
I appreciate it.
So what about the next game after this? Who did you all play?
I think we played Buffalo Gap.
That's right.
We played.
And, okay,
New
so-
Kent.
We played New Kent.
Oh, we played New Kent.
New Kent at New Kent in the state semifinals, and it was 15-6, I think.
So when did we play Buffalo
We
Gap
played
before
Buffalo
these guys?
Gap before them, yeah,
Okay.
the regional.
Because my mom
semifinal.
keeps a journal, and so I reached out to her. I was like, "Hey, did you write anything in the journal about this Madison game?" And she didn't. She wrote about the Buffalo Gap game.
So you guys played New Kent, you said?
New Kent, yep.
Yeah. so they
On their
really-
home field.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a close game.
They rushed in a couple bad years there because we beat them in 98 and 99.
Right.
They were really close games. No, 98 game, the 99 game at New Kent was close because we were on the state. Jay, you want to talk about your dad, Eddie, the coach?
Sure. Yeah, he started. He started there in '78, and then was the JV coach, assistant varsity coach, and then got the head coach job in '85, and coached till 2018. So,
Oh, really?
Yep, he was there for quite a long time, and we had 2 state titles, '96 and 2003, and then 2 runner-ups, '97, and then I think 2005. They were runner up there. But yeah, tons of regional titles. I think almost double digits. Maybe we had 10. But I remember as a kid in the early '90s and '80s, we were pushing. It was always Central Lunenburg was obviously in the '80s and '90s they won. I think they won seven state championships in that
Chippy
15-year
Chapel.
Chippy Chapel. So. I think in '91, finally we beat Central Lunenburg in the first round of playoffs, and that's when we played you guys here. And I remember that game. Again, I was a ball boy on the sidelines, and it was a close game, and you guys threw a double pass
Trick play, I remember
at
that.
the end of the game. And I remember as a kid, I was like, that was illegal. You can't do that. It can't be right. It can't be right. But yeah, that was be here on that field, and I think Coach Eddie Dean was the coach on the other side then still. So, and obviously my father knew who he was and respected him. He'd been coaching for Madison for a lot longer, and he still is one of the top 5 winningest coaches of all time and the VHSL. So, to even compete against him, I know it was a big honor for him, and then to come back years later and finally get a win in the playoffs. In '96 and then '97 were big, and then '98 I was still playing. We lost to you guys back here in '98. So we've had some good rivalries in the playoffs for sure. But yeah, he loved it, and I think he grew up at Powhatan and played at James Madison and came back and.
He's the single most competitive human being I've ever met. And the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. But I remember being in high school, and Coach Woodson was the gym teacher, and I remember this moment where he stepped in and played in a pickup basketball game that I was playing in randomly when there were some young ladies in the game. So it's not a meaningful basketball. And Coach Woodson comes in there and is sliding around with like church shoes on, playing as hard as he possibly can against these kids. And the game ended, and your dad is just sweating through his like button-up shirt, hands on his knees, breathing. I'm just like, this dude's built different.
Did he win?
Yeah, I'm sure he did. He wouldn't let us finish until he had won.
Right again.
But that says something for him too. I mean, you guys moved up to 3A before while he was there.
Yep,
And
we
still
were
successful?
single A, then it moved up to double A, obviously, and then, or I guess it was, single A, Division I, Division II, 3, 4, that's what it used to be. Now it's just all straight Division 6, but yeah, we moved all the way up to Division 4 and still we're competing even at that level, so.
And I guess Goochland was a real big rival.
Goochland was one of our, that was just over the river, so 15 minutes away. That was one of our biggest rivalries every year. We played them last, the last game of the year, the regular season every year. So
That's kind of like Madison and Green, the big rivals. I bet nobody got y'all scored wrong like that.
We did, Tanner and I did get a little bit of payback. We were at Easter Butte, a little bit. Tanner and I coached at Easter Butte football for a while. We actually got to go down and play Powhatan when they were number 1. I think it was like 2010.
Yep.
So I was offensive coordinator for Powhatan. So we did get a little bit of payback, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
A little personal way, if you will, we're coming down to play them. But that was a lot of fun.
You guys had a good team.
Yeah, we actually didn't make the playoffs that year. It was really weird. We were not a top 4 team, and then the other team down basically had another player. So we literally packed all of our stuff up on a Monday morning. Found out Tuesday afternoon we were actually going to make the playoffs. Had practice Wednesday, and then we played Powhatan on Friday. So it was a heck of a week for us, for sure. Yeah.
It's crazy how playoffs are now. I was looking down the classification this week. There's one team that's 1-9 on the season, and they make the playoffs. That's crazy. 2-8 teams, 3-7 teams.
No way.
Of course, we made it 4-6, but a 1-9 team.
That was, I don't know if they still do it this way, but that was back when you could play up, and if you played a team in a higher division and lost, you still got points, and if you played a team below you, then you would almost get less points for winning a game. It was a crazy system they
We
had.
had teams won 8-2. Your senior year,
Yeah,
man.
we were 6-4, 7-3, 8-2, and never made it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy.
The 8-2 year was surprising. I think Goochland beat us out because they had played 2 private schools, and there was some way that they did the PowerPoints back then. They beat us out. They were 6-4. 6-4. We were 8-2, and they beat us out because of the way they did the points that they played.
That was your senior year,
That
right?
was my senior year.
Yeah.
That was a really good team.
Yeah, that was, we went down to Manassas Park and played.
Yes, we were supposed to beat Manassas Park when we were in, and I think we housed them. It was like 50-something to 6. And we were all excited, and then got told right after the game that you're not in. That was devastating.
Wow. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
But yeah, that was the Logan Terrell years. I think he was a junior that year, and it was just
Next
you
year-
hear Green 124 called on the first play of the game. You just watch him go, and it was like, oh, this is gonna be a nice night.
Next year we went to Logan, we played
Yeah.
Alta Vista.
Yep.
And that was pouring down rain too.
Yeah. Yeah, Logan was special. Logan was he was
He was a
right
beast.
here.
He was a beast. Well, anything else you guys want to add?
Should have played it on Saturday.
It was muddy.
I was
It
thinking
was
that.
raining.
I'd already made my point, so I wasn't going to belabor it.
This is the first time we've done this, and this kind of format with having opposing teams come in. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
It's really awesome you guys come here. Big round of applause.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you, Madison guys. Really appreciate you guys coming. And you guys, anything you want to add?
I'll just say, Coach Eddie Dean always believed in a 2-platoon system. I never got to play defense my whole career until Tom Paquette. I got to play defense in that game. So thank you. I always
That was the one thing Ace and I both thought. We were like, I don't remember a lot from that game, but I remember playing both ways the entire time.
We got to play defense.
It's like Ace and I got stuck in the middle of that game. That doesn't sound like we did a whole lot to stop it.
Yeah. It seemed like we did better.
And it feels like it, but now you hear those numbers, you're like, no, not so much.
How many many yards did you rush for that year?
I think
Don't tell me you don't know.
I don't know. I know. I had those records for the single season rushing and the touchdowns in the single season.
Yeah.
I think it was 28 touchdowns, or maybe it was 24 touchdowns and 1,800 yards or something. I don't know.
Do you guys do a Hall of Fame in Powhatan?
We don't have a Hall of Fame in Powhatan now. Maybe that's something we need to start.
We just started up this year, and that was an awesome event. It was a lot of fun.
That's a good way to get people, in the community get involved again.
Yes, it was a really awesome event. We had 10 inductees, and we had one state championship team. It was a 2010 basketball team was inducted. So it was a really special event. Well, anybody else got anything else to add? Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, radio legends, Rod.
Thank you, Dave, for dragging us up here.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. We're going to probably be off for a couple of weeks. Basketball season starting up soon. We'll talk a little about basketball and about wrestling. Brandon, you got that in? And then we'll probably be on once every couple of weeks or so. Won't be every week again. So, but thank you everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it. And see you next time. Go Mountaineers.